Woo! What's going on? This is Sean Gold, Ray, aka Real Deal Ray, your very own international god of mystery. Salud. How are you? Happy Sunday, Solar Day today. Oh, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, of course, sorcery, magic. I'm sure many of you are very much so into that and want to know how to optimize your very own magic. That's what the hell we're going to do. We're also going to be performing, since today they want to fuck with time, I figure we should fuck with time, but for our own agenda and our own purposes. So we're going to be doing a very simplistic ritual in which we're going to close the gap between you and something that you want to materialize or manifest. Yes, I know. So that's what the hell we're going to do. So I'm going to ask you to pick an intention now. Okay. And as I said before, make sure it ain't something stupid. What, pray tell, might be stupid? Something that you truly don't believe that you can get at all. Save that for later. Okay. We're going to build it. But like I said, and the thing about this ritual, you're going to get confirmation within 72 hours. Either it's going to materialize or the materialization process is going to let you know, hey, it's cooking, baby. Okay, we're coming. All right. I'm going to check these comments out, see what's going on here. I'm letting people get in here for a little bit. Hey, what's going on? Let's start at the top here. Misunderstood 666. Yes, that is me. Broderick Lanigan, shout out. Machiavelli Crooks, of course, Shenchesh. Hey, get you your drink, get you your spirits, do whatever you do. Diosa, Deaconess Schmacky, how are you? All right, I got your message too, so believe me, I'm coming at you though. I've just been incredibly busy the last couple days. So, this, of course, is brought to you by the one and the only, the Master Your Magic workshop. There is nothing like this out there right now. I can promise you that. Okay. This is a workshop about the most important aspects of your sorcery, of your magic, which is the fundamentals, like in anything else, whether you're talking about dance, whether athletics, whether it's art, it doesn't matter. Once you get the fundamentals or a firm grasp on the fundamentals, you can start to freestyle. You can start to have a lot of fun with it. But without the fundamentals, right, you can be a literary genius, right, writing novels and shit, right? Without the, you use the fundamentals though, even with the most complicated, don't you see? So, hey, Wise Fox, what's going on? So what we're going to do today, initially, I'm going to be talking to you about a few ways to optimize before you even cast a spell. Okay. It comes into choosing the right target for you. All right. That's where most people fuck up. It's not just choosing the right target. There's other things around that. But consider this about getting off on the good foot, as they say, getting off on the good foot. It's so important. You got to get off on a good foot when it comes to your magic. And this is setting the tone for the rest of, your ritual, your spell, your experience. All right. So we're going to get off into that in just a second. But we're actually running out of time here too, folks, because the spring equinox, okay, is upon us. It's coming quickly. Yes. People like to take part in spring rituals around these parts, okay? So we definitely have a spring wealth, money, and luck ritual. Wealth to me encompasses a lot of different things. Your relationships make you wealthy. You know what I mean? Your health makes you wealthy, okay? So wealth to me is more than just money. That's why we stipulated it in the title. Money is its own thing also. All right. And yes, it's important. And we intend on getting you some. How do you get in this spring equinox ritual? Well, you can join directly just into the ritual, or you can join into the Master Your Magic workshop and you get in for free. Okay. But you got to join by the 18th. All right. So the 18th is coming up. All right. And when you join, no matter how you join, you're going to get the brief instructions as far as what you're going to need for this spring ritual. It's very simple. You can find everything at like the dollar store or the Dollar General. So make sure you get in now. Okay. I want to get this to you, but you got to help me help you. All right. Craze, what's happening, bro? How you been? That's that demonic naga across the pond. What's going on with you? So yeah, when it comes to magic ritual, obviously your attention and your focus plays a big part in this. And for a lot of us, that is a challenge, especially at first, because they're like muscles and oftentimes they're weak. People have been dumbed down. You can even see it like in the TikToks, you know, they will have one part of the screen doing one thing and then another part of the screen, if you notice, it'll be doing something totally different, totally unrelated, like cutting a fruit or something like that, something stupid, or somebody like, I don't know, doing some weird random shit, you know. We may have craze, we may have, I'm not sure. But anyways, so our attention and our focus is definitely going to be play a part in this. But it's a lot easier to be focused when your emotions are on your side, when they're working for you and not against you. All right, when they're pulling you towards what it is that you really want and not against you. All right. Well, it's time to get some more craze. He said the money. What did he say? He said the money came like you said, okay, in abundance. It's all gone now, though. Well, the good news is you got it once, you can get it again, bro. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, all right? You can have anything that you truly want. Now, that leads me to the first step before you do any ritual. Phyllis PG, what's going on? Before you do any ritual, folks, listen, people. You have to start off. You have to start off knowing that you, that God or that goddess, you are that or that bitch, that it's going to be so. It's already done. Okay. Everything from this point on is just formalities. That's all. And it's easier said than done. I realize that. Okay. But you need, that's part of the good. For one, knowing that you can do it and knowing that it's done. All right. I know it's hard. A lot of people struggle with that part at first because it's like, oh, I feel like I'm lying or this and that. And also reminding yourself that no matter what you're casting for, no matter what you're doing a ritual for, are you not greater than that thing, than that money, than that car, than that job, than that, even that relationship, as far as you're concerned, right? So we need to be able, you have to almost leave yourself that has all the doubts and insecurities, switch to another self. Okay, I was like, I'm not going to give away this secret, but I'm going to save it for the workshop. Of course, I'm going to go into more depth and into a lot of just practical and easy ways to fit this on. But instead of trying to fix all your beliefs before you do something, right? Why not just switch selves? Did you ever think of that? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say at home, you are, very docile, very lovable, right? But then you go to a job, like let's say you're a prison guard or you work in a very tense, maybe you're a woman who works in an all male type of environment. Well, that you in the work environment is not the same you as at home, right? You created that self to survive and thrive in that element. Okay, maybe that one is considered a bitch. She's very outspoken. She's tough, Then there's also the you that when you're out with your friends, you know what I'm saying, like at Vegas or something like that. When you got that Thotkins versions of yourself. Don't fucking lie to me. I know you do, and you need to let her out too. There's nothing wrong with her. I'm just saying she exists. You created her for certain situations, okay? When you're trying to get them tonsils pushed back, all right? You're not the sweet, docile mother or the sweet, docile daughter, okay? You're someone else. Yet all these personalities exist within the same or express themselves through the same body, do they not? Yeah. Okay, so what's going on? Shout out, Smooth. In the same way, I'm going to make a very controversial, maybe even a forbidden suggestion to you. Don't try to do magic as yourself. Step into another self to do your magic. Another version of you that is all confident, beyond confident, that already knows as soon as I lock in with clarity on what it is that I want, it is done. It's done. This you doesn't have the same doubts, the same insecurities, the same memories of failure, the same PTSD when it comes to like the disappointments in life, because those motherfuckers can sting. Disappointment can sting. Let's not front. Okay? But this new you or this other you, this magical you, they're not subjected to that. They're above that. They're beyond that. What if you started your ritual as that person? Just like when you go to your job you. When you're at home, you're home you. And then when you're, see, even it goes further. When you're home by yourself, you're a different you than when you're home with other people. Are you not? Yes. There's home you on the couch, in the sweats, farting, watching Netflix, whatever you do. All right. You understand my point, though. I'm going to guess that you catch my drift. You are picking up what I'm putting down. And it's making a lot of fucking sense right now. And this is not even the tip of the iceberg at what you're going to get in this Master Your Magic workshop. Okay. So, Quinetha Watson, what's going on? Yes, when you are, she said, yes, when you're the guac goblin. Exactly. The guac Quinetha is different than the work Quinetha. When Quinetha goes to, see her parents or somebody else that she, or whatever, I'm sure she's not the guac Quinetha. You see how easily and how fluid you step between these different selves of yours. You do it all the time. Whatever new situation comes into you, believe you me, there's going to be a new you that emerges to handle the situation. And that's how it goes. Yes, it's done, period. Wise Fox said. That's exactly it. But I would propose, once again, you let that be your magical self. When your magical self says it's done, period, it is done, period. Okay? There's no doubts. There's no second guessing. There's no questioning. There's none of that shit. None of that shit. Phyllis said, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yes, compartmentalized. Yes, we all are. We all have that. You take a mild mannered person and you throw them in prison, they're going to be a totally different person in that prison. Why? Because they have to, if they want to survive. You will switch to the occasion. Believe you me. And it's true because you do it all the time. Just like you're a different you around somebody you have been with romantically for a long time. And it's like y'all already know each other versus somebody you're just meeting. Okay? You do have to adapt, and that's a part of it. So when you're doing any type of magical sorcery, okay, any type of spell work, any type of ritual work to create a desired effect, to infect the quantum realm, so to speak, to program your subconscious mind. You're doing all these things at once. You need to have that ideal self. Okay? You definitely need to have an ideal self of yours that's what they do. When they need it, they come out and they get shit done. in dramatic fashion also, by the way, too, you know? So that's actually number one. That's one of the key parts. Like, who's doing the ritual? Is it someone who's more timid, scared? And I don't know if this is gonna work. Kind of like, or is this one like, yo, it's done? Next, like, who would you rather have doing your ritual for you? Okay, well, hey, there you go. So it doesn't even really. Sometimes we choose things that we know we're not going to get. So we could say, yeah, see, I told you I was right. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this. Hey, Prosperity B. So obviously you need some emotion too when it comes to your ritual, right? How many of you here have done a ritual where you just absolutely felt nothing, like zero? Hey, V Nice Kisses, what's going on? LA in the house, Southern SoCal in the house, and NorCal's in the house. So hey, fuck it, we'll make a sandwich. So what do you think? How many times have you done a ritual and you just don't feel anything? Part of this could also be, number one, you're just picking the wrong thing. This is not, you're picking what you think you should. Don't should yourself. Dig deep, okay? Dig real deep. What do you fucking want? For real. Can you be honest with yourself? What do you want? Now, even that question alone can make many a person feel very uncomfortable, because anytime you got to dig deep a little bit or just really pay attention to what's here, you know what I'm saying? And be honest, not what should be. Fuck all that. Anytime you're hearing should, you're usually hearing other people's beliefs and opinions that that somehow have gotten up in here. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. Scoot all that to the side. Let's deal with the truth. Let's deal with the real you, or the truthful you, and what you truly, truly want. You know? I bet, Wise, I'm in your head, right? It's true. It's true. So that part, it causes a lot of tension, a lot of friction inside, internal friction, because instead of being nice and clear and just going with that, you're fighting yourself. Well, I don't know. It may not come true because I don't know if I should be wanting this. What if it's not good for me? What if it's blah, 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 blah. Do you see what I'm saying? You have a miscommunication going on. You have a miscommunication. Consciously, yes, I want this thing. I want to manifest this experience, or I want to, whatever it is. Okay? Meditation is definitely a key. I would say so. Cray said that. Because one thing you're going to find when you start really just even relaxing shit, you know what I'm saying, is you're going to find that you're able to actually like see the fucking thought without reacting to the shit. And I can't overstate how important that is, because usually the average person is kind of like not really, they're kind of here, not really here. Okay. So when one of these thoughts intrudes, it drags their ass. It dog walks their ass. And next thing you know, they done went down some weird rabbit hole, and that rabbit hole leads to a rabbit hole, which leads to a rabbit hole. So just all this confusion, right? It's confusion. Now let's see what, I'm sorry, I should have had some slides here. I will have slides and all that and we're going to be doing another one of these before the workshop anyway. So yeah. But look what confusion does, as far as, like, imagine you're a remote control car and you do the controls to go forward, full blast, and back, full blast. What's going to happen? It's going to burn the little remote control out. That's what most of us do, especially even when it comes down to like just determining what it is that we really want. What the fuck do we want to do? You know what I'm saying? and being able to find some type of solace in that. In other words, there's no confusion. I am 100% clear on this shit. You ever notice when you're 100% clear on some shit, how like smooth shit goes, or just how smooth you flow into that shit? Whatever you got to do, you just do. It's not a big fucking deal, right? You play your little part and the universe plays its part, and together y'all make a sandwich and make some good shit happen. But that's far and few between, if we're being honest. That's why it's so important that I can give you this information, and especially in the form of the workshop, so I can go into detail, give you materials, and I can really assist you, because I really want to see you kicking some fucking ass. Not that you're not, I'm sure you are, but you could be kicking bigger ass. We all could, right? Yeah. Now I'm just going to take a brief pause and see what when I doubted myself, that's what fucked up the rituals. It always does. As I've said before, I want you to imagine this. If you've done a ritual, if you've done a spell, if you've even just like, I don't know, fucking visualized for some shit or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. If you have started to doubt after that, it is the same exact thing as casting a spell against what you just worked for. So if you was building something, it's like you just smashed it all down. That's what it is. Now, it may not play out like that. You may still find success in it, but more than likely it's going to be a lot harder. The experience of going from here to there, I say that with the air quotes because time is a fucking illusion, right? I'm not even going to get into the whole time thing just because we don't have a lot of time here, but time is an illusion. All right. Time is something that the only thing real about time is our experience of time. That's it. Okay. Now, if you want to get into all quantum and shit, it is true. Okay. I'm going to give it, those of you, I'm going to use a Brother Beniti-ism, right? You know, those of you with the clocks who know about the clocks with the hands, like when we were in school and shit, what about the time in between the ticks and the tocks? What about that time? You know what I'm saying? Those are the gaps in time. Okay. But we're not going to fuck the time shit for right now. My point is, you're going to make it you're going to make the whole experience way more agonizing than it has to be. That's the part that people really get tripped up on. I'm not saying you're not going to have to do something or get up off your ass per se, but it doesn't have to be done from a state of anxiety, fear, from attachment, like you're choking out your intention, like this has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that desperation. When you fight against the desperation, it just gets bigger and stronger. It just envelopes you. And that's my point. You can go from A to B to C without that shit. It does. Hey, here's a fucking thought. How come it can't be, you know, an enjoyable experience? Something that you enjoy. You just get lost in the process of it. Next thing you know, you're done. It's done. It's already here. On to the next now. What happens when you manifest some shit? You think about what you want to manifest next, right? That's how it goes. Yes, today we're getting it on. Today, Phyllis, I was going to do a sermon on your mound, but I figured this is more important. So, you know, when it comes to the emotion and obviously choosing the right thing to invest your attention in, right? I mean, doesn't that just go for life, period, right? Everything is vying for your attention. Everything is trying to get your attention. All the fuckery, all the bullshit. So you have to be the one to determine who and what you're going to give your full undivided attention to as much as possible. What do you want to invest your attention in? Because that's where your energy's going. You already know that, right? It makes a very cute meme. We all like to post deep memes, but all this information is very good only when and if we're applying it on a daily basis. That's it. Other than that, the shit just sounds good. And I don't know about you, but I got tired of just sounding good. It is fucking good. I want to be good. It is good. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it. Anyways, there's four things that modulate the energy of, like, let's say you've chosen a target, right? And it's something that emotionally would be very gratifying to you for whatever your reasons, all right? There's four things that basically modulate your magic. A little to the left, a little to the right, a little forward, a little back, up, down, whatever, right? And those are these: belief. We've kind of covered that, but we're just going to go a little bit more over that. Your imagination. Can you truly and honestly imagine yourself with it? Right? Even for just a second. Even for just a second. Have you ever had that experience? Maybe you dreamt of it and then woke up disappointed. You know, that's a good that's a good one. Once again, your emotion. Your emotion. Okay? Is it something that you truly want? Does it grant you? Does it satisfy you emotionally? Does it satisfy some emotional need that you have or that you want to experience? And finally, clarity. How clear are you on it? The clearer you are on your objective, when you're really clear about what it is that you really want, there ain't nothing going to stop you, period. The more clear you are to what it is that you really want, the more committed you are to experiencing it, to having it, okay? The more vague you are to what it is that you really want or that you think you want, the more committed you are to not having it, to just thinking about it, to fantasizing about it. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste too much time with that fantasizing shit. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. I'd rather live it though. That's just me. And that's why, for example, like this workshop is not, I know it's not for a lot of people. So from a financial standpoint, I could have picked a subject that was more inclusive. But I know there's a lot of sheep out there. And when I say sheep, I've said this already. There's a lot of people who are expecting something or someone else to save them. In other words, they don't want to take responsibility for their own well-being and for their own lives. This is for the goats, okay? Those of you who know you are gods and goddesses. Because the fact of the matter is, this is your fucking movie right here, right now. I don't know what episode we're on or TV show, right? What part of the movie are we on right now in your movie, in your TV show? Because you notice in every show, there's the characters getting their ass whooped. Then there's that point in time where they say, you know what? Something changes, something flips for them, and they step up to their power. And then from then on, it's a different show, it's a different movie until the credits roll. So what part are we on? What is your movie like? Or is this going to be a movie where the character just gets their ass whooped by life and dog walked by life until the credits roll? I don't know. Only you can answer that. You are the writer, you're the director, and you're the actor. You're also the producer. So what's it going to be? Once again, only you can choose that. So go ahead, feel free to start asking questions because I'm going to be scrolling back in the comments for good questions. Because a lot of you, that's one thing, you guys can really ask the fuck out of some questions. You guys ask some really great questions. I have the best audience, period. So anybody else? Sorry, Changuito already took that. You know, that's what I do. I take what I want. And a great audience is something I definitely fucking want, okay? So let's just cover over these things real quick here. Belief. Do you believe it's possible for this spell you're about to cast to come true. So what do I mean by that too? When you're thinking about beliefs, I mean, at one point we believed that people can't fly, right? It's just impossible for a man to fly. And eventually somebody came along and said, hey, we can make some fucking airplanes. And they had to believe it. Can you imagine them doing the shit when there was nobody else who was flying at the time? There was nothing to look and say, hey, you know, I want to fly like that. You know, there was none of that. So aside from that kind of belief, there's like, do you believe you can have it or be it, right? So yes or no? There's no maybes. It's like either you're pregnant or you're not. You know what I'm saying? There's no half pregnancies, right? All right. So we have to cover that. And you have to be honest with yourself. The only way you can get, if you don't believe something, or maybe you believe it works for everybody else. Maybe you're one of these people where you believe that, oh yeah, they can do it because, you know, I'm fucked up. I can't do those types of things. Cancel, clear, cut, delete. All right. Get that shit out of your vocab, first of all. But I understand if that's where we're at, then let's acknowledge where we're at so we can move on from him. Because denying shit is not going to get us anywhere. Imagination. Can you imagine? Now, imagination to start with, yes, it'd be great once you get into that HD vision, 1080, you know, 4K. We also cover in the Master Your Magic workshop a few techniques to activate your visual cortex. What the fuck does that mean? For some of you who have either astral traveled or then some, maybe you remote viewed, or maybe you can just visualize like a motherfucker, where it literally is like your eyeball is seeing it. It's not a imaginative substitute. You know what I'm saying? An imaginative substitute would be like this. Check this out. Just look at me right now. Try to take all this in. Okay. Now close your eyes. Yes, you close your fucking eyes. How long can you still see me? Like really see me? Right? For most of you, I will fade out within about 2 to 3 seconds, and then you can kind of try and recreate what you thought you were seeing. That does work also, okay? But imagination is very scaled. You can open your eyes. Shit. Good. I'm going to touch back on that, Aisha Lee. See, you came with some fire there. That's a very good question. I'm going to put you up on the wall of fame here because we're going to get to you. We're going to do Q&A in just a moment. So I'm going to keep my place here. I seen another one also. So there's your imagination. You have to, imagination's like a muscle. You got to work that shit out. Now, most of us work it out without us even knowing it. Okay. You want to know how? It's called worry. Okay. Most of us are experts. We just don't know it yet. We haven't applied it on purpose. Right. But I guarantee you, if you worried about some shit, you done seen that shit real clear. Okay. Now, what I find interesting is that a lot of the shit we worry about don't even come to pass a lot of times. Or how many times you thought it was going to be way worse than it was and you finally did it and you're like, this is what, man, if I would have known this shit, I would have did this shit a long time ago. Christopher, we're going to touch on that. I'll get back to your questions. Yeah, just go ahead and keep putting your questions in the chat. Yes, Wise Foxes. That's exactly how I'd be too. I'd be like, close your motherfucking eyes. All right. So imagination does play a part. Okay. And the least amount of imagination that actually works very well, actually, is just getting a sense. Okay. Just getting a sense of what this life is like with this new addition to it, whatever that is for you. Emotion, once again, not to beat a dead fucking horse. We already know. This is kind of going to go into Aisha Lee's question, but I'm going to answer her question specifically. Okay, so for emotion, there does have to be, emotion is the fuel. It's the jet fuel, as I always say. It's the jet fuel. It's what gets you from A to, it's what makes shit go. All right. It's what makes shit go. Without emotion, you can still actually do it, to be honest, because I've manifested plenty of shit that I just really didn't care about one way or another. And surprisingly, those are the things that come the fastest. It's not that they were even small, so to speak. It's just I had no attachment to having to have them. I had no doubts and other shit interrupting or interfering. So the shit just came through like gangbusters, easy. So then I started taking that process and learning how to reverse engineer that for myself towards things that really meant something to me. And I'm continuing that process, you know? It can, Craze. Those are good questions. Keep all your questions coming. Keep all your questions. We're going to go back. This is going to be good. Okay. And finally, so emotions definitely very important. You got to have it. Obviously, if it means something to you, it probably means something on one level consciously. You know, let's just say like you want a new car, right? A specific kind of car. Or let's make it even simple, right? Let's say you want a specific outfit. Okay. Now, obviously, consciously, you want that outfit because you think you're going to look fly as fuck in it, right? But what else would be like the emotion behind that as far as like, if you felt fly as fuck, what would that mean to you personally on an emotional level? Maybe you'd feel like, you know what? I'd feel, you know, pretty or handsome again, okay? Or, you know, I'd feel worthy again. If you really start asking questions, you kind of chunk them down. Okay, well, what would I do if I felt pretty or handsome? What would I get from feeling pretty or handsome? Well, then I'd feel this. Well, what I get if I felt that? I know it's kind of a pain in the ass, but like, you don't have to do this for every intention, but especially the bigger ones. When I say bigger ones, I'm talking about the ones that are the biggest to you, the ones that are most important to you, because those will trigger your bullshit the most. You understand? So that's why it could be good to investigate that. All right. So, and finally, obviously, clarity. You just want a new outfit, or do you want that new outfit? And you can clearly see it in your, when you close your eyes, you can be like, man, I'd be the shit in this fucking outfit. You know what I'm saying? I'd be snapping necks and cashing checks. Okay. I needs that. Okay. Specific. I think clarity, we already know what that is, right? We're pretty sure on that, right? We're both on the same page. It's kind of like it speaks without speaking, right? Get clear. Biggest part of getting clear, make sure it's authentic to you. Do you really want it? Not what your mom wants for you, or whoever wants for you, or your friend wants for you, or your lover may want for you. You're trying to make everybody happy but yourself. That's one of the main problems, okay? Clarity, baby, clarity. Clarity as it relates to you. As it relates to you. That's the most important thing, because we're dealing with you, right? This is your movie. You are the actor, right? Stop making yourself a secondary character, a supporting cast. You're the main fucking character. Hello? Let's get some questions now, goddammit. So we're going to start off with Aisha Lee, because she asked a really dope question. I think y'all are going to really benefit from this question. I think we all are. I'm going to get to you right after Craze. I'm going to go backwards. Okay. Aisha Lee, as you see here on the screen, says, you made a video years ago and said you have to take your emotions out of it. Please help me understand how to manifest without getting lost in your feelings. Okay, number one, let's be clear when we ask this. What emotions are we talking about? Okay, because if you notice, I want you to think of something that you already have that at one time you really, really wanted. And I want you to see your life the way it is now. This thing or whatever it is has been in your life for a minute now, right? It's normal, right? Because when you're asking about emotions, are you asking about the emotion of wanting and lusting after this thing? Because I guarantee you, you don't want or lust after it now because you already have it, right? Now, if we're talking about joy, something like joy or excitement, these are emotions that they don't last long. They're very transitory. Just like anger is transitory. You might get super angry, right? Eventually that shit's going to wear off. You can't stay there. Just like you can't be in a super spiked emotional state for long periods of time. You will fry your nervous system. That's why there's a peak and then it drops again. And some people even get depressed because of the chemicals that your brain and your thought and your glands and shit produce when you're excited, right? That like super lethal dopamine, right? You get so addicted to that. Some people get addicted to that. So my point to you is, even like let's say if you was to win some money or something like that, or you finally got something that you're really excited about, that shit is only gonna last temporary, and then you come back to normal. There's a baseline you have. Okay, so when I talk about getting your emotions out of it, I'm primarily talking about the emotions of lusting after it, because that's just reinforcing that you're separated from it, that you don't have it. You feel me? Am I making sense to you, Aisha? Because that's the truth. You know, that's the biggest thing that's going to stand in your way. And that's what makes it feel like you're trying to go forward with the parking brake on, as I like to say. You know what I'm saying? That's what does it. Because you have the 3D experience, right? Of space and time. To whereas in this 3D experience, like I might not have it yet based on my perspective, right? But then you have the quantum experience, which is you already have it. You literally already have it. Any configuration of situations and things of that nature already exist on some form, especially if you can think of it, it already exists on some level, some density, some form, some dimension, some whatever you want to call it. It already exists. So going from here to here, there is what we call our experience of moving through time, you know, but does that make sense to you though? That's what I really want to know. Is I really want it to, if you get what I'm saying. And I want to make sure that I'm also understanding your question precisely, you know, because when you said take your emotions out of it, am I right in assuming that the emotions that we're talking about am I right in assuming that the emotions that we're talking about are the ones like, fuck, I want this bad, man, or I need this? You know, that's all based on like attachment a lot of times, which is cool. I mean, we're human. We're supposed to experience every emotion. It's not the one that gets the job done. You know, I would always say, and I would always be an advocate that no matter what it is that you want or whatever it is that you're creating right now, whether it's something or someone, or more importantly, like who you are, right? What new habits would you like to manifest? You know, what behaviors would you like to manifest? You know, because those lead to other things. So think also in those terms as well. The wanting it. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to. This is one thing. I'm going to get to the other questions right now. This is the one thing though that a lot of people, it's like when I say you have to like surrender it, how can I say, okay, I'm going to put it to you like this. If you truly knew in every fiber of your DNA that you did already have it, and everything from this very moment until the point you physically experience it is all just formalities. You can't not experience it. Like you can't not have it. It's already yours. Do you think you'd be experiencing, the feelings of lack? We'll say lack because wanting is lack. I want what I feel I lack, right? So that's something to ask yourself. There is a point when you're doing real magic, real sorcery, in which you feel the fulfillment of whatever it is, right? And I used to hear about this and I didn't understand it. How can that be? I would always hear or read that there comes this point, right? There's this point of inception almost where you don't even actually really need the thing because you've just received the emotion that this thing will give you without the thing. So you therefore proven that really, it goes back to show that nothing can make you feel anything, right? I don't want to get too much off topic, but I hope I'm making sense to you because we could spend just an hour on that question. Let's see here. Craze, RUKMC says, for example, when I was younger, anyone or anything I wanted, I got purely because I believed it was already mine. That's what I'm talking about. There's a certain, it's like a knowing, bro. It's a knowing. I can't really, the challenge for me is trying to be able to express that, right? Because it transcends language, really. You know what I'm saying? It's like this feeling, but this feeling is just of certainty. And for me, when I notice I'm certain about something, number one, I'm kind of relaxed about it. I'm not all tensed about it because I already got it. I know I got it. I know it's done. You know what I'm saying? And anything that comes forth after that, if I need to do something, it's just a matter of fact. I just do it. I'm not doing it oh, I have to do this because if I don't, I'm not going to get it. I'm not in that. I'm not coming from that space. All right, cool. Appreciate it. Thank you, Aisha. I'm glad. So he says it was already mine before I had it. I never used to ask a girl. I'd tell her she's mine, for example. And coincidentally, women love men who are authentically confident. Not fronting like they're confident, but authentically actually fucking confident. There's a big difference. Because you will be tested to see if your confidence is real. All right? Women are very good at that. They will try and see if you got chinks in your armor. Because they want to see if you're real or if you're fronting. Is this a mask or is this a real you? And I get that. What's going on, Pips? So let's see here. Go back for some questions. See what else we got here. Y'all enjoying yourselves tonight? I hope you are. It's my intention that you are. And I hope you're thinking about the intention for this. We're going to make a little ritual out of this daylight fucking saving shit. Since it's a thing, we might as well cipher the energy off of this, right? That's what I say. So join the Master Your Magic workshop now. We're going to get into this much deeper, a lot more other things that are just going to set your magical world on fire, which is going to set your world on fire, period. All right. If anything, if I can gift you one thing, it's for you to be able to make your way through your world, get what you need, get what you want, without having to fucking be fighting yourself and worrying yourself and shit like that. All right, let me see here what we got. Am I going back too far? Kamira Davis, question. Okay, hold on. There's somebody before that. See what KD said. My question is, how do I keep myself emotionally calm if I'm thinking negatively? Without getting worried or stressed out before I manifest what I'm wanting or what you're choosing, right? How do you keep yourself emotionally calm if you're thinking negatively? Well, I mean, the common sense answer would be don't think negatively. Are you able to shift your thoughts? You know, that's a question to see whether that rings true for you. If not, that means your mind is in control of you and you're not in control of your mind. And I'm just saying it because it's a good thing to, if that's where you're at, it's a good thing to know that so we can start to, you know, adjust that. Because you're not going to be able to really get anything if you can't control your mind to a larger degree. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have your hands on the steering wheel, who the fuck is driving? You know? So that would be a good litmus test to see, kind of gauge, right, where you're at with it, right? As far as your focus, your attention, being able to divert your attention onto something, what you choose, actually. Okay. In and of itself is a superpower that is very underrated. People really just very underrated. All right. So I'm going to give you something else though for that though. Okay. And this is not going to be very popular. It's probably not going to, you know, sound like something you wanted, but it's the truth and it actually works. If I have something that let's just say I'm obsessively worried about, right? Or one thing that does that to people is deadlines. I notice deadlines it makes their assholes pucker up. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say there's something that I can't get my mind off of, right? I'm worried about something. There comes a moment in time, though, usually, when, this is just from my experience, okay? There comes a moment in time where I just reach this point where I get tired of fucking worrying. My body is overstressed. My adrenal glands, you know, that fight or flight shit, you can only have that shit flowing in your system for so long. Then there's emotional stress. So you got the physical stress, emotional stress, right? There comes this point in time where I just put my fucking hands up and I say, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I can do physically. I am willing to do it and I'm going to do it. However, I just surrender that shit. I know that sounds oversimplistic, but you really should try it. And I don't mean trying to fake yourself that you surrender it. I mean literally surrender it. I'll do like a worst case scenario in my head. Okay, let's just say my fear comes true. Am I going to be dead? And if that's a yes, then hey, I guess none of this will matter anyway, right? But most of the time, 99.999% of the time, it's not that serious, right? So, you know, I just kind of say, well, would I be able to live with that? And I say yes to it because now what I do is I put my mind at ease from fighting those thoughts, because that's what's happening. You're trying to fight those thoughts away of what you don't want to think about, right? And it's just like it's just causing this friction, and resistance actually feeds it. You're feeding it. But if you surrender to it, that's like when someone's bitching and complaining and shit, or that maybe they're trying to say something and you say, you know what, you might be right. They can't argue with you now. You know, so that's kind of my way of doing it, to like really incessant thoughts. But then I've consciously worked on being able to take the steering wheel and say, you know what, obviously I've been putting too much focus on this. What if shit really works out good for me? You know what I'm saying? Here's a fucking thought. Like, what if I just put more of my attention on this? And yes, I know we live in a real world. Things can go wrong. It's nothing wrong with kind of like maybe trying to think ahead of, like, you know, certain things that maybe could go wrong. But there's a difference between that and obsessing on those things in and of themselves. Does that make sense to you? All right. Let's go back. So what did you say, Craze? So in a way, you have to say it to yourself until it's programmed. Yeah, I would say so, yeah. But let me finish your thing. Into your beliefs. You gotta, when they say, see, I don't know, man. I mean, I get the whole fake it till you make it, but even using the word fake, to me, I've been really paying attention to language lately. My languaging, let me put it that, be specific. And it's not so much faking it, because let's say you're someone who's not confident, right? And you want to go up to chicks, right? And every other time you've chickened out. So when you start saying, hey, I'm confident, when I see something, I say something, right? At first, it will appear to be a lie. But after you've done it a few times and you're like, oh man, shit, like this ain't nothing, right? It's like it just blooms and blossoms within you. Now it is a part of you. So in essence, it's not fake, you know. There's you know what I'm talking about. There's this point in time where it's like, I don't know, it's like something, the best way I can explain it is like something just clicks and you're just like, yo, I'm that. I am that. And no, when you say I am that, there's no little voices saying, I don't know. No, there's none of that. It's just, yeah, crickets, because I'm that. You know what I'm saying? I call it the point of infection. You know what I'm saying? But if you need to do repetition to get to that point, then yeah. Sometimes you can just repeat something, a mantra or something for like 10 minutes straight, 15 minutes straight, and really get into the words that you're saying. Don't just robot the shit. You know what I mean? Like really, really feel the words. You know, you'd be surprised what can happen. All right, let's see here. I hope that answered your question, Mr. Craze. Going back down. Whoops. Same with money. For almost 2 years, I literally just would say an amount, and when I wanted it, it would literally come. Yeah, see? If I'm in my emotions, no. But if I'm not in my emotions and I'm thinking logically, yes. Okay, one negative situation can throw your whole journey. It can if you allow it. That's a good point, though. I'm going to put that up on. Cray says one negative situation can throw your whole journey off and set you back if you allow yourself to stay. Yeah. I always say it's not really such a problem to visit, but don't move in. You know what I'm saying? Don't move in there, you know? And that's going to come back to you. Like, take the fucking steering wheel, put the foot on the gas, and like steer your way out of there. Like, don't stay there. Because it's really, no matter where you stay, it's like, imagine no matter wherever you stay, you're going to start to create compound interest. It's going to start compounding. Okay. It's going to start compounding. So you really do got to be mindful where you're staying. But if you're not present, if you don't even know what's going on inside of you, it's, I don't want to say you don't have a chance, but it makes it a whole hell of a lot harder, folks. Okay. I don't stress or focus on things I can't control. Star Tarot. That's, you know what? That is so simplistic. But guess what? You really honestly sound like me. That is exactly what I do. If I hear something, right, or I think of something, and I start to feel a stressor, I ask myself, is there something I can do about it right now? Right now. Excuse me. If the answer is no, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, what is me sitting here stressing going to fucking do about it? Logically speaking, right? What is it going to do? It's not going to do shit for me. Oh, wait, where's that? I got to put that up. That's fucking powerful right there. That is exactly what I'm talking about. And that's a good way to exercise, like, hey, what am I paying attention to? Am I tripping on something that I can't even do something about it right now? Then why am I even tripping on it right now? Okay, I'll tell you what, if you want to do one, write the shit down, put it somewhere. Now it's out of sight, out of mind, but you wrote it down so you can visit it later when you can do something about it. Okay. What else we have here? I had a boss tell me once that if it's not brain surgery and it won't kill you, don't worry about it. Hey, that's cool. I like that. And even at that, ask them brain surgeons. When they're in their zone, they're just here right now doing their thing. They're not sitting here fucking worrying. I promise you that. Well, the good ones. There are other versions of you in other dimensions. It can't be a lie. It's actually mathematically impossible for that to not be true. Okay, for all my little fucking nerds out there, all my mathematicians, I'm probably pretty sure there is not many mathematicians here watching Shango Ray, but for those that are, it's mathematically impossible for there not to be every configuration or version of yourself that you can possibly imagine. Yes, Wise Fox. See, you gotta follow Wise Fox along with the leggings. You gotta know when you're wearing them leggings, I'm that bitch. Okay, if that applies. You know. And our very own Deaconess says our daily words are more powerful than we realize. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Even like, you know what I've noticed too? What you're watching and taking in, I'd say maybe an hour to 2 hours before you go to sleep. I've been manifesting crazy shit, right? Materializing crazy shit that I can trace right back to something I was just watching before I went to bed, like the night before. The night before. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you... Okay, well, Quinita Watson, you're the exception. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I could be wrong, though. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, man. I could be wrong. In regards to tapping into spirit, ancestors, angels, whatever, what are your best tips for activating? I try to find blockages often. I would see right there, bro, I wouldn't even go trying to find blockages. The best way to find blockages or work on your blockages, in my opinion, is shadow work. And the best time to do shadow work is when the shit is actually coming up. But I don't sit around, like, let's say I wake up and I'm chilling, right? And everything's fine. You know what? I think I'm going to go hunting for my limiting beliefs right now. You know, I don't do that. I deal with things on a case-by-case basis. And as things come up, that's when you handle them. They're like children. When do you discipline your kids, especially the little young kids, right? You do it right then and there, because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours from now, they're not even probably going to remember what the fuck you're talking about or why they're getting punished. So you have to address it and deal with it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of not clear on what you mean by activating, to be honest. Activating what? Let me see here. Wise Fox, you better be on your Doctor Strange shit. She said, I'm on my Doctor Strange shit. Smoke some tweeds. When we make our spellcasting persona, should we give it a name? I mean, you can if you want to. Because you gotta, I mean, it is you, all right? I mean, if like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, right? She gave hers a name. That's definitely an alter ego. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's a demon and all, and it might be whatever, but hey, some of y'all are demons too. I know I am, you know, I got my demonic side shit too. So it is what it is. Prophetess, what'd you say? I tell that shadow bitch to get in the corner and mind her fucking manners. You know what? You should be a lot nicer to your shadow bitch. She's actually just trying to help you, right? She's actually just trying to help you. To me, it's about integration. That's what shadow work's all about. Integrating. Hey, how you? All right, let's work out. You know, you've been doing some shit that's kind of fucking us up, but I understand why you're doing it. Okay, you have a really good reason for why you're doing it. It's just the way that you're going about it is fucking us up. So we're gonna put this thing together, and we're gonna find a solution that works for both of us. All right. Let me see here. Same. I deal with my problems as they come. I mean, that's the only way to go about it, really, man. You know, that's the only way to do it. Any other thing is kind of like you're wasting your fuel, your emotion, your mental energy, probably getting yourself into a fucked up mood. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't doing nobody any good. So really, when you put everything on the scales, it doesn't make sense in no form or fashion. In no form or fashion. At some point, maybe we were taught or conditioned that if we're not worrying about something, it means we don't care about it, which means we're irresponsible. What does it mean if we're irresponsible? It means I'm not a good person or whatever the hell it is, right? So you gotta start to recognize your conditioning, which is the lifelong process, and there's no quick trips to that. You know, it's a lifelong process. What'd you say? My alter ego is Left Eye, and she likes blowing up shit. Okay, well, hey. Now, how about an alter ego that likes to build shit? What's your alter ego that likes to build shit or create shit? These hoes ain't got no manners, huh? My shadow self has been abandoned and shunned too long. I give her love always. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I would think so. Okay, seems like there's something of substance here. We create our own blocks mentally, and it causes our manifesting. Yeah, precisely. Like we're the only thing really slowing it down. I know. A lot of us like we've been conditioned to believe it's outside things or it's this circumstance. I've noticed circumstances that to me, from looking at it with my eyes, oh shit, this is going to take it's going to be hard. It's going to take a long time. And then something that I couldn't even fathom comes out of left field and just whoosh. And it's like, but what happens is I needed to get straight first. And then that shit happened, you know? And it was just like, wow, I could have never even imagined that it happened like this. But like, this is even better than anything I could think of, you know? So I ain't even mad. I'm not even mad at all, period. Let me see, what'd you say? I meant that when I meditate, I find or feel there's blockages. Like something ain't clicking, if that makes sense. By activation, I mean, for example, I know others who hear spirit. Okay. Well, they may hear spirit. I mean, I'm sure. So are you also referring to like, you know, certain abilities, certain phenomena? You know, because a lot of times you'll hear spirit. You've already heard spirit. I promise you that. And you know that, you know, it may be more of a kind of seem like an inner voice, but it's an inner voice that you know is not yours. It's not one of the regular boys. You know what I'm saying? It's different. And they converse with you. They absolutely do. You got to remember too, like spirits, they will often, a lot of times, yes, it can be in actual words. You can actually hear a voice. But I'm saying don't bank on it. Don't relegate them to just that way of trying to communicate to shit to you. They will communicate through, you walk into a store and then all of a sudden a song comes on and it has a lyric in there and it means something to you. Or you're watching something on TV, or you're at a restaurant or somewhere and you overhear two people talking about some shit and they're, you know, what they're saying is like, it's talking to you. You know what I'm saying? They often talk like that as well, you know, more than not. Okay, Candace asks, what do you think about waiting until certain moon cycles to manifest? Like I've said before, I've mentioned this actually before. That's a very good question. Thank you for that question. I've been re-examining my whole relationship with this whole moon shit. Like I've kind of left the moon shit a while ago, and I'm still collecting information and forming my own judgments, right? But there is a lot of information out there anyways. And just because there's a lot doesn't mean it's true. But indicating that the moon is not really our fucking friend at all. And I know people be like, oh, what? That's that conditioning though. Can you get to a neutral place and just hear what the fuck I'm saying? Okay. Think the Death Star in Star Wars. Okay. Now look outside your window. All right. Like, for example, but then you have people that say, well, I use the moon successfully. Is it, you know, you said it right. You used the moon, you know, I think it comes down to the individual person. Personally, I'm not really too big on moon phases myself. And like I said, I'm still actually right now in research about this whole moon thing, where it came from, where it originated from. Um, because basically, I'm just going to summarize it. If you don't know, it's kind of like the moon actually emits something that keeps your power down. Actually, your true faculties from really coming online. It's been said that the moon is actually like a ship, basically, and is just like the warden over the over the slaves. You know what I'm saying? Or at least that's how it was kind of designed, anyways. There's a lot of compelling information. I'm not saying it's true, but it's like this moon. Where did it come from? It didn't come from the Earth, and it's hollow. What planetary thing do you know that's hollow? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so there's just a lot of shit that just it really just don't make sense about it. And like I said, I've been researching a lot of information on how its influence is definitely not one that's that is in favor of your divinity. Okay, so yeah, that's my whole thing. That's a great question, though, Candace. But once again, I do know people that use the moon, and I mean, it works for them. You know. Yeah. Craze asked. Yeah, that's kind of like along some of the information that I've been seeing and just researching. Like I said, the jury's still out. I haven't like decided. You know, it's all fascinating to me. But yes, the moon wasn't originally here. It was not. Okay. Wise Fox, it's a hologram. I mean, it might be. There's a lot of different shit, man. Like I've heard things already. I know TikTok, right? They're like, how many of you remember the moon? Okay, if this is the moon, right? You would notice like the crescent moon would go this way, but now all of a sudden the crescent moon is going this way. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. There's a bunch of shit up here. If you sleep on your back, it's easier for the moon to steal souls from you. Oh, that's interesting. In that case, it must have my soul already. Shit, that's the beauty of magic spirituality. We all have certain energies within us. What? So we'll gravitate to different energies outside of us. Oh yeah, everyone's different, you know. Well, all of space is allegedly a hologram or projection. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Like it very much so could be. At that point, it seems it's part of your belief system if you feel the moon helps you. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. That's a good point. Thank you for that. If you know that's a part of your belief system, then if you want to change your belief system, you still have to honor what it is that you still feel. You know what I'm saying? In other words, don't try and fight against it. Okay. So if you believe it, I mean, it's just like when somebody prays to either Jesus, Allah, whoever, you know, you can find a believer from each of those religions that swear up and down, and I said prayers and my fucking daughter was healed, or I said prayers and I got this fucking job. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is they're the ones who did it. They just use the vehicle of Jesus, Allah, whoever, as a way, like almost like a permission slip, so they can believe that or to know that this shit's done, you know, and they surrendered it to this deity. Look at some of the keys that they did. They got certain and then they surrendered it. It's done. Surrender it, you know. Good point though. Apparently we never used to have night either or winter. I don't know. Conjure Queen asked the question, if the moon ain't a thing, what does do with astrology? That's a good question. That's a good question. From what I'm gathering though, like the astrology rules over your humanity, your 3D existence, right? But spiritually speaking, you are actually literally all of them. You're all of them. So I'm with the space is water theory, up is down. I mean, that's fascinating too. I heard a theory, if you go under the water, you're going to come out somewhere else. This is why we don't fuck with the ocean. That's why we're always trying to go out in space and shit. I mean, all these are just, I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't fucking know. My screen is going in and out, so I was wondering if something's going on. What did you say here? If we're, I just clear away all things that I was taught because it's blockages in manifesting. Hey, you know, kind of makes sense to me. You know, you got to be able also to identify what is on, you know, what is working with you at this stage in your life, you know, with who you are and what is not working anymore. And once again, that requires some form of self-evaluation or assessing yourself. You know, what do I truly believe? You know, and not being lazy with it. You know, I just seen a meme. I posted it. I think it said the magic of satellites. They never get hit by space debris. You know, they never need fixing. It seems like. You know, they don't get burned up by the thermosphere. And we've actually never seen one actual real picture, because you remember, you know, a lot of the images you see of planets and stuff like that, they're CGI, right? Of course, yes, you can go get a telescope and look up in the sky for yourself. But hey, man, maybe we are in the Truman Show. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the idea of being ruled by astrology. Hey, good point on that. Let me... because this is, now you're going in my territory, okay? I ain't going to be ruled by shit. I know I fuck around, I joke around. And yes, when we incarnate here, it's under a certain vibratory signature, right? We call it Sagittarius. We call it, you know, Libra. We call it Scorpio, whatever. And then, of course, you have all your other placements and shit, right? So it's kind of like, I look at it like an EQ band. Those of you who know about an EQ band, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're EQing a certain song or something, you know what I'm saying? And this song is you, right? So it's going to reveal maybe certain characteristics that you incarnated with that are more pronounced than others, right? It may indicate where your strengths are going to be found in this incarnation over others. That doesn't mean you can't make these ones that are weaker stronger. It just may take more of you to do that, if that makes sense. That's just how I see it. Okay, am I good, Deaconess? You said I froze. Am I good? Like, who created it and why? How do we know? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, are crystal balls good to use for divination? I would say yes, but so is a mirror. So can a cup of water. You know what I'm saying? Can spirits see us through them if they're not covered? Yeah, I mean, they can. They can, just like with a mirror. I mean, I ain't been covering my mirrors. I used to cover my mirrors like obsessively, but I also have other means of protection on constant 24-hour rotations. You know what I'm saying? All over. So I don't do it anymore so much. But I mean, yeah. But then again, you might as well cover your TV. You might as well turn over your phone, because like this can be considered a black mirror. This is the ultimate black mirror right here. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So be careful. Candace, astrology can be used as a guide like the rest of this stuff. It's up to us in the end. Absolutely. Okay, I believe you did say that. She wants something specific. How can we manipulate someone via their hair? Oh my God. What are you doing, Sharon Bryson? What are you up to, Sharon Bryson? Lord have mercy. Quinita Watson. No, I did not get. I'm in California, Northern California, so I didn't get no snow in the Bay Area. No snow for me. How can we manipulate someone via their hair and candles? Once again, it's going to come down to number one, who's casting the spell. Is it the doubtful, I'm not kind of sure this is going to work, Sharon Bryson, or is it the determined, hey, this is going to fucking work, Sharon Bryson? Number one. Number two, are you able to focus for a little brief amount of time while you're using the hair? Okay, you could put the hair in something. You could make some type of a poppet, like, I mean, it's not really so much on. You can just hold the hair in your hand instead of the candle. Like, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. Educational uses. Sure, sure, Sharon. Yeah, whatever you say. To believe in this, what? To believe in the zodiacs or astrology is some sort of also being bound by time. No, it is. Yeah, definitely. That's one part of the game, is you're stuck in time. Ain't that part of the game, to get out of the circle of time? Just that constant recycle. Like, it's to get up out of there. You're gonna get what you want, Sharon. All right, you're gonna get us. You're gonna find somebody fucking at your window in the middle of the night and shit. All right. When police restraining orders ain't gonna work, cancel, clear, cut, delete on that. But I mean, I'm just saying, shit. Be careful. You want someone obsessed with you? See, I would ask somebody that says that now, like, I mean, yeah, there's a place for that if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You want to make this person your project or whatever, but like, what would them being obsessed give to you, emotionally speaking? Would you feel more secure because they're obsessed with you, so you feel like, oh, I got this person? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean to you? Because you're going to have somebody fucking popping out the bush when you coming out of work or some shit, all right? You better get specific, clarity, like we were just talking about, okay? To believe what? To believe is also sort of being bound by time, as though like it's an annual cycle. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there's different kinds of astrology. There's fucking Vedic sidereal astrology, right? Then you have the Western astrology. Then you got Chinese astrology. You got different forms of astrology. So it's like, I can see how they're all valid, but at the same time, it's interesting. I do respect it, and it does have its place, especially here in the three-dimensional world. I will say again, but I'm not going to be ruled by that shit, and I don't like over obsess about that. If anything, I think numerology is more of the shit than fucking astrology. Okay, because everything is numbers. Everything comes down to zeros and ones also. You know what I'm saying? So everything is fucking numbers. Everything, even astrology. Okay. So that's really where it's the rubber hits the road, as far as if you want to talk more scientific anyways. What? Wise Fox, you kind of know a thing or two about a thing or two. I like that. But I believe what the Gnostics believed, and I use astrology as a tool to figure out my humanity. That's exactly what you should be using it for, in my opinion. In my opinion, you are A1. You're spot on with that shit. Then I'll move past it because I'm not really human. Thank you. See? Exactly. I know spells for that, but let me know some. Swiping with your non-dominant hand is like a Ouija board. Put your hand on his hands and set your attention. Yeah, something like that. Put your hands on something and set an attention. You know what I'm saying? Something's gonna come. Yeah, you don't want nobody in the bushes. No, you don't, man. You really don't. You must be young if you think that shit's cute. Believe me, been there. Believe me, done that. Okay, stalkers and shit. I'm not cool. Like, there comes a point of time where it's like, that shit ain't cute no more. Manifesting king. What? We're still on some Q&A. We're about to get in this ritual here because we're going to have to cut it short here. Or just end this shit. What components would make a powerful road opener? That's a good question. I will say this, when it comes to components, see, number one, let's just say this. There are things that in general will, okay? I'm just going to give you two of them. All right? Since that's what you asked for. But what is most important of anything is what is most relevant to you, right? Because it doesn't matter if I say something is what is, you know, as far as a specific spell goes, right? For me, this particular ingredient or implement might symbolize my roads are open. I'm free to go. I'm free to do this, right? But for you, it may not. So there is no universal. There's all of this shit is subjective. So we got to find what works for you. But two of them that have been really hot for me are eucalyptus leaves and gunpowder. And yes, I have a fucking thing of gunpowder I also use. So let me see here. Can you tell us a good protection recipe? I mean, the most basic you can get, honestly, is like you could carry around a little thing of salt in your pocket, like put a little satchel of salt. You know, I like to mix even salt and cinnamon sometimes too. You can use the eggshells, the cascarilla, you know what I'm saying? That's actually like basic, simple shit. If you want to, I'm kind of guessing that's what you meant, something like that. But I might also even, like, I got an amulet that I made out of branches. I just took 2 branches and I made a cross like that. But I was working with Santísima Muerte for that. That's also available on channel-ray.com if you're ever so inclined. See here. Paul Ndui. What do you think about the concept that we're in an egg and in the middle sits the earth, below dark realms above? Yeah, I mean, how could we prove any of these theories? And even if the theory is right, what does that mean for us right now, right here? You know, I was talking with somebody else and they kept sending me a bunch of flat earth shit, right? I could see the argument in the flat earth, right? I really can. But then at the same time, so I said, hey, let's just say the earth is flat. You still got to fucking go to work tomorrow. You still got shit to do. Like, how does it actually affect or change anything for you? You know, this is what I mean. And not to say it like that. I mean, that's a good question, you know, because I like to have my times where I think of these weird or these concepts, right? But there's the concept shit, but then there's the shit that I want to bring. Let's bring this close to home. Let's bring this right here for you. So that way you can use it. Something that you can engage with, something that you can apply, something that can help you to create whatever change that you want, type of thing. All this other stuff. So we live in an egg. So we're floating through space on the back of a turtle, and that turtle's on top of a turtle, on top of a turtle, right? You heard that one too, right? I guess, like, hey, shit, I don't know what that even means. You know, like what does that mean to us? You're still going to wake up. You're still going to need to go to work, go to the bathroom, pay your bills, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, yeah, either way, we're floating somewhere. Shit. I'm an artist, therefore I'm a flat earth god. Hey, I mean, that's cool. I just thought of something myself. I didn't see it anywhere, but I'm like, if this is a flat or a donut shaped thing, how come you can get any, you know, telescope that you want, look out in space, and everything else is round, but we're the only flat thing going in town? I'm not saying it's not correct. I'm just saying I don't know. It can be. I could see both points, to be honest. I could see both points. Knowing the shape of the earth is small fries. Sure, they're lying about something. I mean, you know they're lying. They're lying about everything almost. I would say so. We have bigger issues afloat. That's what I've asked. For real? Hey, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. All right, so now, hey, I want you to, let's settle down here. Let's get our intentions in order, okay? What is one? Just pick one. Just pick one. I want you to pick one intention. This can be something to have or something to be, okay? This could be a habit. This could be a characteristic, a quality maybe you want to evoke from yourself. This could be an object. This could be something. You got it yet? All right. Now, you know what? I'm going to need to turn this shit off. I'm going to turn these lights down for just a sec, okay? Because we're going to do this shit. All right? So just hold on a second. One moment. Thank you. Whoops. Okie doke. All right. Now. Okay. This is just a simple candle ritual. Although I like to encapsulate. Oh damn, I don't have this thing's still on. I like to use the 4 elements because a lot of times we're taking something from, the mental realm, and it's going from the mental realm and starting to gather mass and gain form here in the 3-dimensional realm. So I like to do it within the 4 elements, but I don't, I'm going to have to light a whole new thing for this shit. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Just a moment. I got water. I got earth. I need air though. Maybe this is still on. Hold on. I've been burning incense on this burner. Yeah, this shit's gone. Or is it? You still on? Hold on. Let me see if this works. And I'm doing this for you guys also. I'm doing this for you. Oh, okay. We got air. We got air. Cool. Here's the candle. Simple candle. Simple white candle. All right. Now I would like you to just start really pondering your intention. Your intention in the physical, if it's a behavior, a characteristic, what does it look like? If it's an object or something like that, a situation, what does it look like? Let's put this up more. All right. Now I also want you to consider and ponder what candle is fine. All right. What does it mean to you emotionally now that you have it? See, we have the water. I have my water. I have little waters like feng shui around the house. All right. So we have fire, earth, water, and air. All right. So go ahead. I'm going to light this candle now. And while you're still putting that together, think about that shit though. What does it mean to you? If you have it right now, because you have it right now. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to be so bold to say this. You're about to see confirmation. We don't do affirmations here at Ray Enterprises. We do confirmations. Why? Because what we speak confirms itself in our realities. Even before it fully materializes, you're going to begin to see, the baby's going to start kicking. You're going to see it. All right. Your baby might pop out right now, though. Okay. Might pop out today. All right. I'm going to turn these comments off just for now because we're going to go and relax ourselves just a little bit. Just get ourselves in a magical frame of mind. Whoops. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now, we're going to meet this magical you also right now, okay? The you who can't fail when it comes to casting their spells, working their rituals, and manifesting their desires. All right. Come on, you wiki. Yeah. And we're going to be taking advantage today, since they want to play with time and our concept of time, we're going to play with the concept of time. Okay? As it relates to the time standing between you and the experience that you want now. Let this candle catch a little, do what it needs to do. I've actually anointed this candle with some super duper road opening oil. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about counting how long you're breathing in or nothing like that. Just feel the air going through your nose into your lungs. Concentrate more on that just for a second. If you wish, when you're ready, you can start to just gaze at this flame. No, you're not staring intensely, but it's just more of a relaxed gaze. And hopefully you've done the homework, the brief homework that I've given you as it relates to what is it you really want? What are you using this? What are we collapsing this time for? Are you clear on that? Are you clear on what it means in this three-dimensional world? And are you clear what it means in your subjective world, inside you? What it means? What do you get to feel now that you have this? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel loved? Do you feel secure? Only you can answer that. So go ahead and just continue to gaze at this candle flame. And the surprising thing is that with as much advancement in science, we still really don't understand the mysteries of the flame. It is alive. It eats, it breathes, it moves. And when you understand it, it may appear to be a simple dancing candle flame on a white candle, symbolizing that we are saving daylight, time. We're saving time here. You're saving time here. The time that you think it's going to take for you to experience, for you to have now what you truly, truly want, or what you desire, what you are clear. Let me add that in here too. I'm going to take just a moment to just breathe here and just center myself. Now I suggest that you do the same in your own way. It's also so relaxing. Focus and concentration doesn't have to be strainful. And if you're watching the flame, you may begin to notice, just as the moments roll by, it does get easier and easier to just relax your concentration. The concentration of your intention, of what you are actually collapsing into a particle, into this physical realm for yourself. Consider this an act of love you're doing for yourself, even if it's only for enjoyment or any other need or feeling that some people may deem as lower. Doesn't matter. You can have whatever you choose, and that's what you're doing here. This is just a link in your chain of events that you will notice from the moment you get off this live that will begin to materialize synchronistically. It may materialize wholly, completely. And in the future, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, even a month from now, when you look back and you remember this dancing flame, or this gorgeous God behind the dancing flame, whatever floats your boat, you'll realize that this was the definitive moment. And when you're clear on something, when you're clear on what you truly desire or what you choose, and when you're clear on why and what you get out of it, it happens virtually effortlessly. You may get to engage with this process further. In other words, there may be some actions that you get to take. And I say get to take because you can imagine yourselves doing this from a place of quiet joy, a certainty, a knowing, a matter of fact. This is just what you do. It almost seems natural to you. It's as if this desire that you have chosen to materialize is pulling you through this illusion we call time, to its fulfillment. And it's normal for you to have this now and feel like you have it now. And just even imagining that, your DNA is starting to reconfigure as we're speaking. I know it seems so simple. I know it seems so subtle. But the most powerful and profound things are often the smallest things, the simplest things. Magic is most of the time a subtle act. Just like in your everyday actions, it's the small, tiny, minuscule actions that add up, that compound quickly over what we call time. And since we just lost an hour today, according to the time that we all agree on, that's 1 hour closer to your manifestation. Just take a moment to bathe in your new reality with this thing, with this new you, with this behavior, with this character, with this quality, whatever it is for you. And it's so simple. It's too simple to doubt. It's too simple to not know it's already yours. You can get somewhat excited, but you don't get too excited about things you already have. It's more of a comforting feeling, I imagine. I'll go ahead and just cast it off. When I say cast it off, This flame, whether you know this or not, is now beginning to banish within your mind's eye, even ever doing this ritual. You may forget to remember, or you may remember to forget. Either way, it's not important. The quicker you forget, the faster you collapse time. And the faster you collapse time, the quicker you forget. It is done. It is done. And it is done. Give yourself a motherfucking hand. All right. Hey, oh. Yeah, that's it. That's simple. Now watch. Within a few hours, some of you are going to you're going to have some weird synchronistic shit. You're going to run to 7-Eleven or something, and something's going to happen. Stay present. Stay here. You won't miss it. It's going to catch your eye. It's going to turn your head. It's going to turn your face and say, hey, ha-ha, All right. This has been Shango Ray. I appreciate each and every one of you. Join the Master Your Magic workshop where we can really get in depth on the fundamental keys that are going to make you a magical badass. You already are, but on purpose. All right. You don't have to feel like you lack control. Okay. You can rest assured that you can have what you choose, and you can enjoy the process in getting it, or more importantly, in being that you. Okay. So once again, thank you again. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you, Wise Fox. Absolutely. I'm going to let this do what it does. I'm going to forget about it. It's leg day for old Papa Shangito. That's right. I might bless you with some leg photos. Not fucking with you. But yeah, it's time to go punish myself physically. And I'm going to just get my mind off this shit and enjoy this. I'm grateful for my time with each and every one of you. Thank you for everybody for your questions. If you want to, like I said, go to either shango-ray.com or look in the description box of this. And like I said, we'll see you in the workshop. And know that it's the best investment you probably ever done fucking made. All right. We're going to make sure of it. All right. So peace. Enjoy your Sunday. I know some of you are going to have to catch up on your sleep because you lost an hour. But anyways, we'll be back at you again very soon. Thank you.